All right, welcome back, everybody. We're in the middle of our Grassroots Citizens Panel. Before the break, we're discussing the fact that Obamacare had its 5th-year anniversary today, and the country, I should say, seems as divided about its benefits, its good idea, bad idea, as ever. Will Vought has pointed out that 16 million Americans are now covered that weren't covered, but there are a lot more Americans who were previously covered who are now not eligible under Obamacare. And let's go to Barry Nussbaum. You want to add something to that?
Yeah, Rick, I think we're forgetting the lack of debate in the beginning. You remember the Nancy Pelosi statement, if you want to know what's in it, you have to vote for it. As time has gone on, the story has gotten worse and worse, more convoluted, and more weird stuff is coming out of this law. It's incredibly expensive. And remember, all the promises were made. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like the coverage you have, you can keep the coverage you had. Almost every presumption that people actually supported in the beginning, the good stuff, turned out to be not true.
Yeah, I mean, you have to admit, I would think, Will, you at least would have hoped they had more transparency.
Well, yes, of course, but this is the first time in the country's history where we were able to even get this far, you know, and yeah, if you're going to make an omelet, you're going to break some eggs. Of course that there's going to be problems, there's going to be cracks. My hope would be that, you know, it would be a continuing debate and we would be able to move forward and create, you know, a better plan.
Yeah, but there is no debate. It got slammed through in a democratically controlled Congress. The Republicans are trying to come up with a fix-it solution, and there's no conversation going on.
Well, the Republicans also, not one of them, failed to attend the signing either.
All right, let's go to Jerome. Jerome, you wanted to add something.
It sounds like he's injecting more government.
This is like the website on Obamacare. It wasn't working.
Yeah, I'm having some audio difficulties there, Jerome. Let me just say, we'll come back. We'll come back to Jerome in a moment. Let me just say this, Will. I appreciate your breaking some eggs and make an omelet analogy. Sure. But when you hear the consultant, the name is Gruber, Jonathan Gruber, come out and say, you know what, this was our plan all along. We wanted to distract everybody over here and do this over there. We wanted to be non-transparent. We wanted to trick people. Look how smart we are. That's what's troubling.
Is there ever a piece of legislation that's going to universally appeal to everyone?
No.
I mean, I do think of the families that are able and the children that are able to have health coverage that weren't previously, and it is not perfect. And I'm not here on television saying that it is perfect, but I am acknowledging, you know, that there are people, millions of Americans, that are able to go to the doctor and get the health coverage that they need for their families because of this.
All right, let's go to Jerome. Try again one more time, Jerome.
Yeah, no, I think your guest thinks that the idea of adding more beneficiaries on a shrinking amount of tax revenue to pay for the benefits is a good thing. I mean, there were some great ideas that Obamacare never actually inserted. I mean, the iPhone does not cost $600 anymore just because you can only buy it in Florida from AT&T. No, it's competition. And honestly, medical expenses are so high exactly because the government is in it. States from Oregon to Maryland are giving up their exchanges. There's fraud and waste and abuse all over the place. Nobody actually wants this except for people who are getting a free ride, just like every other government program.
All right, we'll leave it at that. We'll go to a different topic. A controversial news report today. Governor of Indiana, Mike Pence, signed into legislation in the state of Indiana the Freedom of Religion bill, which allows business owners to not serve gay customers should it be against their religious beliefs. Furthermore, he's declared a state of emergency on an HIV epidemic, which is also taking place in the state of Indiana. Those two things, coincidental, one would believe. Let's start with Bridget Melson. You are a Dr. Bridget Melson. You're a psychotherapist. Yeah. Here in California, and you're following this story closely because you say you have been the target of someone who turned away same-sex marriage counseling based upon your religious beliefs, and you found yourself in some trouble.
Yeah, I do marriage and family counseling, and to me, I believe as a Christian that marriage is between a man and a woman. So CAMFT is our organization that we're under, our association, and they did come out with the fact that they were looking at taking licenses away from therapists who refuse to see gay couples in marriage counseling or premarital, which is something I don't understand because that is an act I don't agree with. So it came down to it. It was in the news about how I was going to get my license taken, and I fought back, and we have no law here about that. So it was fine. I was okay. So I am so in agreement.
And you say this is also the law in 16 other states?
16 other states have similar legislature, yes.
All right, let's go to Will. Let me tell you where I'm at on this, Will.
Okay.
Number one, I would not be someone who, I'm not a florist, I'm not in the same sex, I'm not in the marriage counseling business.
Sure.
So I don't have any issue with, personally with having to worry about this type of topic.
Understood.
The way I look at it, if it is against someone's religion, why not let the marketplace determine whether they want to go see Bridget Melson? Someone says, you know what, Bridget Melson, you're a bigot. I'm not saying you are, but someone would say that. Right. I don't want to go do business with you, so I'm going to go elsewhere. Is that wrong?
No, I actually, I'm shocked to agree with you in this sense, in that, if I was gay and I had a partner and we were having issues, like any relationship or couple, why would I choose to go to somebody that didn't want to work with me? But, it is legal. It is legal for gays to get married, in the state, and they have the same problems as we all do. I mean, I'm divorced, and my counselor sucked when we got divorced.
All right, Jerome Hudson. Jerome, what's going to happen is those on the left are going to say that, listen, this would be akin to someone wanting to turn away a customer because of their skin color. We hear that analogy a lot. I get that analogy on some level. On another level, personally, I feel that's offensive to African American folks to make that comparison. But how do you feel about this legislation signed into law by Governor Mike Pence today?
Well, no, this is where the culture war is. I think that the liberal left won the culture war, and this is an example of them purveying the battlefield and just shooting the wounded at this point. I mean, it's completely unnecessary. Like, if it's already legal in the state for people of the same sex to get married, and if you don't want to go to seek out a service like a T-shirt or a cake from one business, I feel like it would be a boon to the pro-gay marriage cake baker. Every gay marriage cake in the state.
I would love to hear that conversation, though, between the couple that wanted the cake from the baker that wouldn't make them the cake.
I agree. I would if I ran that cake shop bakery, I would put a big ad out saying we cater to all same sex and what have you.
Newspaper ads everywhere.
Yeah.
But again, I think there is this knee-jerk reaction by some elements of the gay community to take it just take it to the extreme. I think it's an attention grabber. I think to them, they think it draws attention to their plight. And
well, it draws attention to homophobia.
Oh, it's not homophobia. He called you homophobic. Aren't you?
I did not call her
that makes him narrow-minded.
And
when we come back, we'll get your reaction to the side of the break. We'll continue more with the Grassroots Citizen Panel after this.